just because we want to move to this country. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, was it even worth it? Was I deceived? Did they paint a picture for me that wasn't real?
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there.
Hi, people. Today, I just wanted us to have a chat, heart to heart. Especially as immigrants in this country, in this foreign land where we find ourselves. There are just so many hurdles, obstacles that are in our way that we have to deal with every day. And it becomes very, very draining and stressful when we have to deal with these things over and over again. Especially for us that are like, maybe back home you had a very good job, you had your own house, you had things going on for you, and then you come here and it's just like you're in a rat race. You're running around chasing your tail every day. It can be very, very, very depressing. So let's take, for example, myself. I was able to get a job because I'm in a high in demand job position. But imagine those people who are not in a high in demand career and they struggle to get a job and they are qualified, like they have many years of experience, qualified doing this job from their home country, but because of something as little as a Canadian experience, they cannot get a job. So if you know that you need me to have Canadian experience, why did you give me permanent residency to live in your country and then I'm struggling to get a job? Another thing is, you struggle, you get a job, then it feels like you are stuck there. You are not growing. Let me use myself for example. I have a master's in social work and I have been working as a bachelor's degree holder. Like my salary range has been a bachelor's degree holder, right? And you begin to ask yourself that at what point do I break even? At what point do I begin to have the earning power based off my experience, based off my credentials as a social worker, right? It can be very, very draining. The cost of living right now is so ridiculous. I remember when I was in the UK, things were not so expensive. I know recently I'm talking to people and they've been saying that, things are now expensive in the UK. I know Nigeria, people are complaining that things are expensive. But you begin to ask yourself that, did you make the right choice? Having left everything that you have, everything that you've known back home, your family, your friends, your connections, to come here. Now, speaking about connections, have you realized that making good friends that are just genuine friends are not after you because of what, or are not being friends with you because of what they can gain from you or because of who you are or what you have, is very rare. You can hardly find genuine friendships in Canada. And then the people who you've been friends with from childhood are very far away. It's hard to keep those connections. So you've lost your friendship, family bonds are broken, and so many other things just because we want to move to this country. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, was it even worth it? Was I deceived? Did they paint a picture for me that wasn't real, that wasn't realistic? I know people are thriving in foreign countries, in Canada, in America, UK. People are thriving, right? But there are still some things that if you ask everybody deep down, they will still have one thing or the other that makes them wail or cry or worry or makes them unhappy at night. Let me know if it's only me that feels this way sometimes. So today I'm at home alone. It is my EDO. I'm just sitting here. And I was just asking myself that, why do we have to take this step? Why do we have to leave everything that we know? We're still like second citizens. We're not treated like we are expected to. Is it just me? Another thing that has been on my mind is wanting to try for another child. But these are other things that I worry about. That, okay, if you try for another child, will you have the help or support that you need? Do you feel comfortable leaving your child with somebody that you do not know because you have to go back to work because, of course, your mortgage needs to be paid? Things need to be done. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And these are some of the things that immigrants, we really shy away from and we don't talk about. Another thing, again, that I've been thinking about is black tax. Your family members in Nigeria or in your home country are expecting you to send money to them back home. But you by yourself where you are struggling, you are scraping by. You have a mortgage that you have to pay, probably have other bills. Maybe you have a car note that you have to pay. You have to pay property tax. You have to pay schooling that they say is free. From now time to time, you have to pay one thing or the other. Like my kids' school, they will say they have healthy hunger, they want to buy pizza, they need you to buy them skating shoes. Before all these things add up. How about extracurricular activities? You are paying that on a monthly basis. Like in a year, sometimes I spend up to between $2,000 to $3,000 per year on extracurricular activities for my kids. That is outside every other thing that we buy or when they have special events in their extracurricular activities. And then you have family members back home who are looking up to you to send them something or waiting for you to send something to them. And when you don't, it's like you're not worthy to be called their own because you have kind of abandoned them. That's how they see it. So sometimes I ask myself that these people that are back home, do they think that people at home, people that are in diaspora are struggling? Do they think that, okay, since they are there and they will need to eat, let me send them gari or rice or beans or yam or something? It's always us sending. Have they ever thought about sending us something? These are just some of the things that have been running through my mind. All the challenges that we have to go through, all the hurdles that we have to climb, all the things that we have to deal with day in, day out, just to be able to live in a country that actually called us to come and live with them. They asked us. Do you know how harsh the weather can be in Saskatchewan? I was watching Tayo Aino's video where he went to Siberia just yesterday. And I'm like, those things that are happening in Siberia happens in Saskatchewan. It's just that Saskatchewan, we're not in that deep for a long time. Like we're not in that deep freeze for a long time. But sometimes we get to minus 45, minus 50, minus 55. But it's just for a couple of weeks. But it's almost the same thing, Those harsh weathers, harsh conditions. I was reading the comment section and people were saying, are Nigerians living there? Do Nigerians live in Siberia? If Nigerians are in Saskatchewan, best believe if you check in Siberia, you find one or two Nigerians. Nigerians are resilient. Africans in general are very resilient. They are always looking for a place where they can thrive. So I'm just hoping that our government, like the politicians in our country, can actually use our resources, our natural resources, to better our lives, like our country standard of living, so that people can stay home. Some people want to be home, but when they think about going home, the first thing they think about is the insecurity, the lack of amenities. Those things are the major things that make people leave. I was watching the 30 days rants that people have been putting up on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm like, these things are valid things that people worry about. Imagine you're sick. Okay, let's look at that Otedola explosion, the fire explosion, the gas explosion. A couple, a man and his wife, lost their life. If there were good emergency services, maybe it wouldn't have been as bad as it was. Imagine you're at home, you just had like a medical emergency. You cannot call any EMS or 911 or any hotline that would come to your rescue at home. These are the simple things that people are looking to have for them to be able to live in their own country. And to think that all these Western countries actually came to Nigeria many years ago to steal our natural resources in order to make their country what it is today. So why can't our politicians use our own natural resources, export them, and use the money that they gain from this export to better our country? You know, it's just, we can just go on and on and on. I can sit here, rant and rant and rant. There's so many things that I have missed. I've missed my brother's wedding. I've missed my mom's birthday. I've missed, cousins' weddings, naming ceremonies. My children don't even know their cousins that well because they only see them over the phone. And we can go on and on and on and on and on. But that's the question. With all this, with people knowing all this, would they still want to migrate? The answer is yes. Because we do not have what we need for basic amenities in Nigeria. And that will always propel people to leave because they don't have what they need. I don't know. I have a dream that one day Nigeria will be safe. It would have everything that we need to be in our country and not keep running away. I am tired of being in diaspora. I am actually tired of being in diaspora. The last time one of the videos I did was, do you want to retire here or do you want to retire back home? The earlier I can go back home would determine if I'm going to retire here or retire back home. If I'm able to go back home early enough, then maybe. But if I'm not, you know what, guys, I don't know. I really don't know. I just wanted to rant. I just wanted to talk to you guys. These are some of the things that are burning deep in my heart that I want to talk about, but I have nobody to talk to about it, or I just want a neutral, I want somebody neutral to talk to. I just want people to share their own opinions, banter in the comment section. Tell me how you feel living in a foreign land. And if you're in Nigeria, tell me, with all these things that I've said, with all this pressure that we feel every day, do you think you will still want to migrate to any foreign country? I'd like to read from you. Thank you guys for always watching. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for your love, your support. I really appreciate every one of you. And until we see again in the next video, take care, guys. Bye.